It's the follow through here, and Clay Mercer happy to be with ECSU head basketball coach John Richardson III following the Vikings 72-67 win over Mount Olive. Coach, a great way to bring in 2026 and finish off 2025. Your overall thoughts on this contest?
Clay, it's a blessing. These kids have worked so hard, throughout, the end of 25. And, we started to really turn the corner after the Barton game, the 1st of December. And, we just kept chipping away, got some guys back. And now we're just trying to really find our identity. And I was just really, really proud of the way that we guarded, especially in the first half. I mean, I thought, there was a 5-6 minute stretch in the first half where we were just outstanding defensively and offensively. We shared the ball. My overall thoughts, before from the game, when you look at our offensive production level, you can get 20 assists, on 27 made field goals. That's what you want. We limit them. They're high powered. You're talking about them averaging 90 points a game. And then, we keep them well below their average, from a 3-point field goal percentage standpoint, from an offensive efficiency standpoint. And so now, we're just starting to kind of find out who we are. And as we start to get some guys back, now, it will be even better. But we got to clean some things up. Obviously, we want to be able to finish the game. I'm disappointed in that. But hey, winning is hard at this level, at the collegiate level. And so we'll learn some lessons. We'll look at the film and we'll get ready for CIAA play.
One of those players that's returned to Jaquante Harris, preseason All CIAA selection. Having him back out on the floor, how important is that?
It's awesome. And it wasn't a Jaquante Harris type of shooting performance, but his presence means everything. You just get a lift. And I told him in the locker room after the game, I'm going to ride or die with him. I'll put my house up when it comes to him as far as what he brings to our program and over his career. He's earned that right. You won't see another performance like that offensively from him, but he's still going to play hard. He's still going to make the right basketball play, and our guys believe in him.
You held Mount Olive to 25% shooting from the field in that first half. It seemed like you put a lot of emphasis on the defensive side of the basketball for this game. Is that what you all have been practicing and really wanted to put a lot of important emphasis and making sure your impact was felt on the defensive end?
Clay, that's who we try to be. We work on that every single day, not allowing guys to get into Alamo, and if we are able to keep guys, 5-on-5, we're able to really contest shots, board the ball, then we're able to get on the attack offensively. But yes, we that's who we are. That's who we try to be. That's who we strive to be. We can keep people from 40% or lower, then we like our chance.
Donovan Flamer, we brought his name up many a times. He's been honored by the CIAA a few times already too, but he's just continuing to get better and better with every game. Another double-double here. We're talking about 18 points, 11 rebounds, a strong first half by him, and then it was followed right up with Trevor Smith, 19 points, big, strong second half by him. Those are a couple of young players, and Coach, you talked about it before. We got a lot of young players, a good nucleus of players that are really going to help this basketball team.
Absolutely. I thought Trevor, really hit some timely shots, especially when we were out of sorts a little bit in the second half, and Trevor has that ability. He's a 3-level scorer. I think sometimes he settled for the 3, but he actually can get downhill, got the midi, as well as being able to get to the rim. And so he did. That was on display, especially, again, we were out of sorts. He hit a 3, and then he had a crucial drive there in the zone where we were able to stretch the lead out a little bit, to give us some breathing room. But again, he's a kid that has no fear. And again, he's one of those guys that we have supreme confidence in.
11 of 23 from the free throw line. It kind of gave the crowd a little bit of an antsy moment there in the second half. Let's make some free throws. And so anything that worries you there at the line, or just one of those games where we'll be able to move forward?
Clay, we just wanted to give everybody in town something to talk about. We wanted to bring in the new year. But no, that's one of those things where, we practice it every day. We spend time, we designate time in practice, free throw situations, just shooting free throws. So, I mean, every team in America, does that. But now it's just a matter of going and executing and putting the ball in the basket in critical times, whether it's late in the game, in stretches of the game, you got to be able to execute and make free throws. And we didn't do that tonight. And but we'll learn from that too. And some guys understand that. And so, hopefully we'll take time out, between now and practice on Friday to get that corrected as well.
This basketball this team has a lot of depth, but it also seems like you're trying to tighten up those rotations a little bit. I know you say you got some players returning.
Yeah.
How difficult of a task is that going to be? Because you want to be able to play these players, but you want to kind of hone in on like 7, 8, 9, 10 that can really get out there and play.
Well, Clay, it's hard. I mean, now that you're getting guys back, and basketball, as you know, is all about rhythm. And so now as you get into league play, across the country, you have to be able to have a set 8, 9, 10 guys that can develop some cohesion and then be able to play off of that. And so that's what we're still trying to figure that out. We're getting Kyrie Staten back integrated. We got Jaquante back right now. So, Joe Thompson, because Daniel Nixon was out today, Joe had to slide to the 4. So, there's always moving parts and pieces that you have to be able to do. But, these guys, they understand, they do the best they can. Juwan just coming back, really. So there's still work in progress. We're still work in progress. But again, they have such a great attitude. They understand, they want to be good. They want to try to do the right things. And we'll be better off in the long run.
Community Day here inside the Vaughn Center. So many people from Northeastern North Carolina's community came out to support the team. I mean, that's got to make you feel good to have that 6th man in the Vaughn Center, especially today with that community love.
It means a lot. I thank A.D. DeBose and Chancellor Hargrove, for even putting that on, and as a product of Northeastern North Carolina, it meant a lot to see a lot of familiar faces in there. A lot of alums, came back, so some of the board, I want to thank the board, for coming back, because they didn't have to do that. But again, that starts with our strong leadership, Chancellor Hargrove and A.D. DeBose, putting that out there. And people were receptive and they were fired up and ready to go.
You pick up your 2nd win here, finishing off 2025. What are the ways that you're going to kind of get this team ready? Johnson C. Smith coming up in next week. Keep this momentum going into 2026. What needs to be done?
We got to be mature about it. I mean, we now know that now this is the conference race. And so we got a very, very important Southern swing coming up with J.C. Smith, Johnson C. Smith coming up on Thursday. And then, with Winston and Livingstone, very important swing. And there are games that, they are very important, but we have to take them one game at a time. That's starting with Smith, on Thursday night. And so, I mean, we've familiar with them, they came here and got us, during the Thanksgiving break. So, that familiarity will hopefully will bode well for us as we go back and review some of the things that we did wrong, get that corrected. But we're looking forward to that matchup down in Charlotte.
Well, the Vikings had an out-of-conference win here today, 72-67 over Mount Olive. And when they do get to play Johnson C. Smith and more CIAA games, they should have their full team coming back, and that's going to be exciting for this ECSU Vikings basketball team. We thank you for joining us here for the follow-through. I'm Clay Mercer. Coach Richardson, Happy New Year to you. Happy 2026 to all of you, and looking forward to more Mighty Vikings basketball. Don't forget to join us all season long.